everyone, it's Jean from the Inky Owl Studio. I appreciate you stopping by today and spending a few minutes with me. I am working on my Grungy Christmas Journal, and I'll show you what I've done so far. I've decided to put on a cardstock or a um heavy scrapbook paper quality uh, cover on each of the signatures. So I'm going to have two signatures. So I went ahead and I got the papers out and I prepared them. I decorated the front with this little pocket, a little journaling card. I love this idea of sewing or gluing an image behind a window and kind of using that either as a pocket or a piece of ephemera, because it helps to use up a lot of little scraps rather than trying to. It's nice to have a card that does show and peek in the window, but usually I end up using just, how do I say, I waste a lot of paper that way often. So this way I've got little scraps laying around of little images and I can just sew them in or glue them in and they're set. So I kind of like that idea. And so that's what's inside here. And I think today I'm going to make a piece of ephemera for that. The other signature I have is this here, and I put in two lace pockets, and I will have to figure out, what I'm going to fill those up with later, but that's what I've done there. Okay, so far today I'm going to be making a wrap, or sort of a topper, a journaling card topper for the top of the page. So I took a piece of paper and I put tea stain paper behind it, and this in my ink in my printer, it got inky there, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it because I think it, this is a grungy journal after all. I've inked around this with vintage photo, but I like this. I finally found a use for the walnut stain. I got this a while ago, and it's really great for a botanical because it has a greenish quality to it. But it's also really good for just going on the very edge and just sort of giving this a little bit of a frame. So it kind of adds to the grunginess. And two layers of different distress inks also add to the grunginess, in my opinion. So I kind of like that, just here and there around. So this is the way I've been using my walnut ink that way. And I just mentioned that in case some people bought it and thought, oh, I don't know if I like this. So anywho's, that's how I've been doing that. So I got this piece, and I believe this is, yeah, this is 11 inches. This is the whole one side, the whole length, 11 inches. And I'm going to fold it in half, like so. And then we're going to decorate it. And eventually this will fit over the page, and then of course you can go journal on the inside of it. So I'm going to choose this really cute photograph. This little girl, it's an altered photo gave her sort of a pink dress, and really think that goes so nice with this background. Kind of like the flourishes, in her dress a little bit. Really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew her on and sew around her and sew her to that, to this. And I'm going to be careful not to do too much stitching because, you want to be able to journal on that side. So I'm just going to do a little stitching around that. And then for the bottom, I have chosen this lace. And I did not tea stain it or grunge it up because I thought, it's a Christmas journal, and it just needs a little bit of sparkle here and there. And I think this lace does a really good job of that. So I'm going to be putting this on the bottom, and then to kind of give that a border, I've got some sari silk here. Then I'm going to twist a little bit and place above this and sew this on at the same time. So it's a little twisted and a little pleated there. So we'll be sewing this on at the same time as I sew the bottom of it. And now that I've just got done saying I was going to sew this, I'm not going to sew this. I'm actually going to just glue it on. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to glue it on. And that way you can journal on the back and it'll be fine. And so I'll be right back. Okay, this is finished. With all the talk about sewing and not sewing on the edge of the photograph, I ended up sewing just one side of it. And when I did that, then I created a little tuck spot. Isn't that cute? Just to add a little bit more color around there. Let's get a little closer look at her. She's so cute. And so the one, this shouldn't impede too much of your writing. And so I like that idea. That came out pretty good. Now I want to put a little bit more down here. And so I was going to use this little definition of Carol and probably put something kind of bright there to kind of like pick up on little red berries inside there. And in the pink theme a little bit. And let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I want to do it about like this. Yes, I like that. That's good. So I will just add a little more fabric down here. And just sort of stick it on this way. And glue on the definition. Like so. There we go. Like that. Still want to be able to have a tuck spot. Yep, that looks pretty good. So there's that little cute side of the tag completed. All right, so now we've got the other side. And I went ahead and sewed on the lace ahead of time. And for this side, I have chosen this particular graphic. And I need to put a backing behind it. So I thought perhaps this recipe, I could, kind of tear it all the way around and put that for a backing. All right, well, that's not too bad. Then I have this other piece. Okay, so now I think that this red here is picking up on the red inside that piece there. So I think I'm really liking this particular layout quite a bit. And this I'm just going to glue down. I am not even going to do the sewing. Just to show that, you know what, sewing isn't everything. You can certainly do a lot with just gluing. There we go. Put that on there. I think I'm going to put that straight up and down. Just like so. There. Put it right in the middle. I can decide to tear that later, maybe, I don't know. I guess I'll leave it. So that's that. And down here I had two things I thought about. And first of all, I thought about making a charm because this is cloth and you could hook something onto it. So I got this little tiny stamp. Somewhere I got it anyways. And to do that I'm gonna put a backing on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this because I will use it somewhere even if I don't use it here. And then it'll be firm, and then I can just punch a little hole in it. A tiny hole. And then hang it on there. I could do that. Or I've also got some cloth. Now I went ahead and just sewed up ruffles of strips of cloth that I hand torn. And on this one I sewed a button. So I've got this idea too, which the more I look at it, I like how it's picking up the green on there. Yeah, I like the way it's picking up that. Heck, I might even do both the charm and that. I don't know. I like that. I think that's going to look just the way that I want it to look. And we will glue this on. Okie dokie, all ready to put it right here. Yep, I am liking this idea. So there is the flip, pretty much completed. Now let's take our page, and I'm going to show you what I think about, how I think about attaching it. So it's going to fit over the page like so. And I have a rusty paper clip that I tied some fabric onto. And so that, let's see, I'm going to put it on this way so I can see it better. There, like this. And so this will come down like so. Okay. And there we have our flip over tag, and I'm going to cut these down just a little bit like that. Okay, so that little tag is done. There. And the idea that I wanted to show you also, where I'm working on that idea of taking a window, cutting the window out of the envelope, just using that portion of it, and then gluing on your scrap, whatever you have. And this can just be a piece of ephemera. It doesn't have to be anything else but that. And you can put on, put on a little bit of collaging with it, and whatever it is you think you would like to use for a little bit of collaging, and it could just be a pretty spot to look at inside your journal and use up all those little fragments. So I'm going to make a bunch of these and maybe put them on pockets, that type of stuff. Alrighty. One last little simple idea that you might want to try is take a bag, a small bag, and make a little booklet out of it. So I'm just going to fold this in half. I'm going to cut off this little portion right here, like so, and making a slit there for something to go in. And on the front, I have chosen this little boy and girl, and I've sewn this onto a piece of ticking digital print, and just glue this on the front. So you just kind of decorate the front of your booklet a little bit, like so. That's all I do. And we'll just stick that right on there. There we go. And I think for this one, I'm going to put down Christmas Eve. Of course, that could be Christmas morning too, right? But but it could be Christmas Eve. Some people have the tradition of opening gifts on Christmas Eve as well as Christmas morning. There. Okay, so we've got a little place here. And then on the inside, I just got some papers and made sure when I fold them over, they fit in there. And I am just going to sew right down the seam here. And you can also use a pamphlet stitch for this, as well. So I just sewed them all right down the middle. I have paper in here now for journaling on. And then here in this pocket, I just took a piece of paper, just tea stained paper, folded it, sewed a little bit of lace there on the outside for easy pull out, and then eventually something will go back inside this pocket. So you have a little booklet to, stick in the journal somewhere. Here, I used a glassine bag on this particular one. That turned out cute as well. So I have that in a back pocket. So those are two other ideas that you might want to try, make it kind of fun. And so that's all I have today, and I'm going to continue to work on these. And we will talk to you soon. You have a great and crafty day. Bye.